Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
I am Stephen Kalayjian, and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, we saw another new high today on the NASDAQ futures and S&P futures. S&P futures hit the high of 66.81 and a quarter, I believe. I think that was the high. And then saw the NASDAQ futures push up at the end of the day. The Qs hit an all-time high here of 591.69 before selling off at the end of the day. Again, we saw Tesla trading as high as Tesla was trading as high as 425, and then dropped all the way down to 425 before rallying 6 at the end of the day. Microsoft pushed up at the end of the day. Beautiful patterns on Microsoft on the 15s. Palantir, great longs when the 15s reversed to buy. Netflix, great longs on Netflix here. Coinbase reversing to buy on the 5-minute time frame. The double blue buys, two great longs in the 15-minute time frame. We saw sell-offs here on HIMS, down about 2.6%. Overall here, the market's just inching higher. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on the bigger time frames. I wouldn't buy them here with your money. I'm telling you, I think this drop is going to be significant. You know, I think the quarter-point interest rates that we're going to see cut on this Wednesday is already priced into the market. I think he's going to say something negative to where he's just going to pause after this. It's not going to be a fan favorite. And, you know, we rallied from April, end of March, early April, almost now 1,600, well, more than 1,600 points on the S&P. 1,600 points, all right? And I will tell you that these gaps will get filled, these three big gaps. We have a gap today, right now, that gapped up from the opening. We have gaps all the way down to 60.50, down to the 62.50, 60.50, and the 5,700 area, 56.70 level. Again, you've seen stocks like NVDA today down on the day, couldn't get going. Even though Palantir rallied off the lows, couldn't get going. Amazon was up about 1.46%. It was really Amazon and Tesla and Avago that really kind of pushed the market up here. Overall, let me just show you what a great pattern here at the end of the day. This was the This is the first pullback right here on the 15-minute time frames. Right here on the deep oversold condition. This is the second oversold condition, and then this was a third oversold condition. But overall, you're seeing here, okay, that earlier today, the spiders were making new highs here on the 30-minute time frame right here. And the S&Ps dropped about 17, got oversold. You can see the high here of 661 and dropped here. Dropped about 15, 659.53. That's a major sell divergence here. We're going to have more sell divergences tomorrow, okay, because the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute MACDs are negative here. You can see here another gap here. Here's another gap. I mean, look at all these gaps here on the 60-minute time frames. Here's a gap here, okay. I mean, you just keep going back and back and back. Here's a gap here. Okay, just on the 60-minute time frame. Here's a gap, boom. Here's another gap, boom. So you got all these gaps below the market that I know are going to get filled. And even if the S&Ps drop 900 points, and what will cause it, you don't know, right? We don't know. It can come out of left field. But the bottom line is this. All you care about is the fact that I would be looking to be in cash or be looking to sell longs and looking for pullbacks for longs once you get this deep oversold condition and once a lot of these gaps get filled. Even if they got down to 60.50, if you wanted to cover and go long, and then look to even buy more down another 300 S&P points and scale in by a quarter here, buy another half there and keep a quarter in your pocket, you know. But again, I don't see, I do believe that 2026 is going to be, especially after Powell resigns, I think they're going to full press and really cut interest rates. So this was a great pattern. This is called a double blue buy at the end of the day. The 5s correlated with the 15. Here was another one. And then you can see the drop down. The S&Ps got down to 68, 66, 68, and then rallied all the way back up to 66.80. And they rallied 12 points on this with the market on close. If you look at Coinbase here today, you can see Coinbase reversing to buy on the 15, right here. You can see the MACDs are negative, and then you buy the first pullback on the double blue when the 5 correlates with the 15, the 30, and the 60. Here's another long on Coinbase, up about 1.26%. Another great long there on Coinbase. Look at Microsoft here. Microsoft very strong here. Here's the pullback on the 15. I called this during the live stream on the 15. You can see the high Microsoft pushed up, but this was the real. This is what's called the double blue buy. Again, the 5 correlating with the 15, 30, and 60 pushes down, but this is the real big pattern where you could take advantage of the options. You can see the oversold condition here on Microsoft on the 15, on the 30. That's here, right here, the gap down, and then here on the oversold again. But this is the real big pattern on Microsoft. Well, Microsoft gapped down this morning right here, trade out to 507. So Microsoft rallied about 8 off the lows. What do you see here? You're pushing down to new lows, but the MACDs on the 60-minute time frame did not confirm. This is a monster long. Okay, so this is a buy divergence in a positive trend. Even though you got the push down to 507, the MACDs are still very positive here on the 15. Okay, on the 60-minute time frame. Gold very strong here today. Gold futures pushing up here again to new highs. The GLDs roughly now 113 above the 10 bar, and the standard deviation is only 5. So again, I would not want to be long. Gold can drop 8 points here, 80 points brings you down to the 3630 level roughly, but I don't think that that's over. I think you can really even get a push down here to get the algorithm to reverse to sell. If you look at gold here on the weekly, you're 20 points from the 10 bar, and even if you got a 260 point drop in gold, let's see, 3760 minus 260, 3460. Probably it's not breaking 3,000. So 3250 to 3450. I'd probably be looking to scale in to buy gold here and look at the monthly on the gold. You're 69 points above. Very, 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 very overextended here. So if you're long gold, I'd be selling out of gold, and I'd be scaling into. Then I would also be scaling into longs if we do get any type of a drop there. Okay, let's see here. Tesla. Okay, when Tesla reversed to sell on the 15-minute time frame, I knew that the highs were in for the day, and then the Tesla reversed to sell on the 30-minute. But then when Tesla got deeply oversold, right here, I was calling longs in Tesla, and it got down to 0240, and Tesla ran roughly $8-9 off the low, off the deep oversold condition. Now, Tesla is in trouble here for tomorrow with the 15 and the 30s and the negative MACDs here on the 15 and 30. So if Tesla gaps up tomorrow, I'll be looking for shorts on Tesla. That's going to be a great short. Apple, great day today in Apple. Apple had the really good long here on the 30-minute time frame. It pushed up here, Apple, to 238 this morning, dropped all the way down, dropped about 3. And then you can see here the push down on the 15, on the 15 and the 30-minute. Here's the first drop on the 15. Here's the second here's the second drop on the 15 and the 30. Apple pushes down to 235.27, rallied about $1.50 again. With the Apple's going to have some problems here again tomorrow with these negative MACDs here on the 15 and 30. So we'll be looking for shorts there. Palantir, PLTR, reverses to buy on the 15 right here. Palantir making new highs, but the MACDs non-confirming. All great shorts, scalp shorts against the 15. You can see the 30-minute here. Okay, now when the 15 reverses to buy, you could look to buy the first pullback on Palantir. Palantir drops all the way down to the 170.08 and rallies about $1 and a little over $1 at the end of the day there, and about 80-90 cents on Palantir. Great long there. And again, one of the things I tell you is when they correlate, you got to understand where the MACDs are. If the MACDs are crossing positive from above the pivot, right here, here's the pivot line, the solid white line, you look to take the short, and then you look to buy the pullback on the 15 right there. So you could actually take in shorts here in Palantir, 170.79, drops about 80, 90 cents. Again, once the MACDs reverse to buy, okay, when the algorithm reverses the buy and the MACDs are above the pivot, you want to take the short on the overbought condition and then look for the pullback to go long, especially when you go into a buy trend. All right, that's a great pattern there. All right. Again, kind of slow day because of overall the S&P's up 30, NASDAQ up 183. Of all the indices here, the NASDAQ was the strongest, up 0.75, S&P up 0.46, Dow up 0.46%, and I'm sorry, up 46 cents. The S&P's up, 44 tenths of, almost 5/10%. Same thing with the Dow and the Russell, up 0.3%. So the NASDAQ was by far the strongest today. And then, well, I guess, it was kind of slow regarding the fact that, we're going to wait for the FOMC, the rate decision. They're going to cut a quarter. Okay. But then the question is, what's the wording after that? All right. When I get back, I'll tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we have 8:30 retail sales number. Then at 10 o'clock, looking here, we have the business inventories and the home builders confidence index. Right now, it's the real numbers, the retail sales number at 8:30 tomorrow. Okay. And what I'm expecting tomorrow is if we do get any overbought conditions and we gap up and we're trading 66.90, 6,700 or higher, I'm going to look to fade the market. These negative MACDs combined with these 60-minute gaps below the market, I'm telling you, too rich for me. I know I've been calling for shorts. I know I've been saying looking for exit longs, but you know what? I am on the side of caution here. I think the PE ratios that are 29, I think there's something going to come out of the woodwork that's going to caboose the market, and we just never know. But you can't be complacent during these times here. You cannot be complacent, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's aberrations in the market. The markets go way up and they go way down. And guess what? You have to be having cash available. To sit here and just twiddle your thumbs and be complacent when the markets are making new all-time highs, for me, that's a sign of disaster. I think what you need to do is focus on liquidating names, selling calls against your positions, or buying puts as underlying protection, and or just being in cash, like I said, or the first one. And then look for opportunities to re-enter the market, okay? Again, I've been doing this for 43 years, and for me, this is an unbelievable, unbelievable opportunity to be in cash and look for more opportunities to compound your returns. All right. When I get back, I want to tell you what I'm doing tonight and something that is a major lesson that you need to follow. So tonight I'm hosting the second week of the Tokyo session with My Funded Futures, sponsored by My Funded Futures from 8 to 10 o'clock tonight. We had a monster following the last 4 nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday last week. I'm looking forward to doing this almost every night, but we'll see. This is the second week, and we'll see the response. And so far, so good. So far, so good. One of the things I want to talk about is placing stops. Okay, stops are very important. Today we were short in gold, 60. What was it? The 37.06 to 37.09. It traded up to 30. It traded up, then down, but back up. Got stopped on that one trade, the first trade all day. Only stop out, but took the short, got stopped at a 10.5, 11. Okay, rallied about 4. Actually, the stop was about 10.5, so about 4.5 off the lows if you're scaling in. But then when gold hit 17.5, 18, dropped 19.20, dropped, and then we caught the real short 22.5, 23.5, 24.5, and then it just dropped right down. Unbelievable drop all the way down to like 14.5, 15. So we caught that short, and then that one stop was nothing because in the in and outs along the way, most people made that up anyway. But then that big drop, I said the big drop's coming, and that big drop happened, and it got absolutely kabooshed. But then at the end of the day, around 2:45, we got the buy on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame on gold. Gold rallied from the 15, 14 and a half level. I'll just see where it went here. You can see here on the gold off the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. Let me see. This is the 15s right here. This was what time is this? This is got down to 15. The oversold condition here on the 15 and 30. Here's the gold. Got down to 15, 16, and then gold rallied right back up to 21, almost 22. So the bigger time frames really kicked in there, okay? But again, you need to adhere to stops. So with that being said, a person in my community didn't adhere to stops. I said, do you drive a car without brakes? And the answer is no, right? The answer is no. All right, so please adhere to stocks, be disciplined, and don't create more stress for yourself. Don't be your own worst enemy. A loss is a loss. I take losses. Nobody's better, right? And the bottom line is, if you take a loss, you just fight to come back, and you just make it back singles and doubles, okay? That's my message for tonight. So again, I'm hosting the Tokyo session tonight. Please find the link on my, it's going to be on my YouTube, my X, my Instagram, and TikTok. And the raffle, you would need to sign up for the raffle on Google, and I posted tonight on my socials in order to get the raffle to see if you won the an evaluation account with My Funded Futures, a Google Doc. You're gonna have to prepare, and you got to be there to accept the award. We're gonna give out 30 of them tonight for free. Okay. With that being said, thank you for joining me tonight here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Also, if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please join me here at sktrading.live. Also, if you like to reach out to me, my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I want to say have a great night, everybody. God bless you. I hope to see you tonight. And most of all, God bless the United States of America. Be well.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.